Cox. They are across the front row. 24 Richard Wren, James Hillier, 37 42 Guy Sanders, 30 Gareth Cleaners. We come under orders now. And the Lions, oh, they held them. Whoa, a lot of bogging down going on the road too. But that wasn't a bad start from Kyle Bryce on the outside on bike number 2. Can he sweep across to lead at turn 1? No, he can't is the answer to that as soon as we get there. Kyle Bryce is just about third. There's one into the potato field that I mentioned earlier. Oh dear me. Yeah, there's certainly...
Like he might have been nudged there, hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, hard to tell. I think it's fairly easy to tell, judging by
the R6 Cup.
Body language. It is the R6 Cup. I was trying to make out who it was. It looked a bit like Michael Niblett.
It's number 49, I think.
Oh, was it? Well, in that case, it's not then. I'll work out how filter 9 is in a moment. There we go. It is Russell Hodgson. That's why he would have been unhappy. The 23-year-old Rusty Hodgson. He has had the worst possible luck last year. He got taken out at Silverstone at the chicane by Bob Collins. Well, Rusty Hodgson, I'm very sorry for not identifying you correctly early on, because your luck is the worst possible.
Because he did qualify second.
He bogged it down on the grid. I'm sure that I saw him make a mess of it on the line. But there you go. We'll wait and see. 37 leads at the moment.
James Hillier.
Indeed, we heard from him at the line from Jonathan Green, and James Hillier a little unhappy with the way qualifying has gone, but he ain't going to be unhappy with being in front of number 2, Kyle Bryce, at this moment in time. That is for sure. John Boy Lee is on bike 78 in third place. Here comes Kyle Bryce up into turn 1, which is Richie's corner. Whoa. He was hoping a bit there, wasn't he?
And already Adam Jenkinson qualified in 11th place, but he's up to 5th.
That kid is superb. At Brands Hatch, he came slowly but surely from behind. Whoa, big trouble there.
That looks like
John Boy Lee. John Boy Lee got it all in a mess on the brakes into Sear corner, and that's cost him dearly.
John Boy Lee's little guy, come from the ACU Academy as well, rode in the 125 championship last year, but this year switched to the R6 Cup.
Conor Cummins, our man to watch, is in 6th place at the moment on bike number 3. Keep an eye out for him.
Kyle Bryce in the lead.
Oh, Kyle Bryson snaps it straight underneath James Hillier. Kyle Bryce looked to me like he was a fraction slack in that last lap, but he's looking like he's going to make up for that now. Well, this could really swing his decision a little bit as far as whether he goes to Gordon Blackley's ride at PR Branson Honda.
Very difficult. If you're in the chance of winning this championship, then you're on a full factory Virgin Samsung Yamaha for the next season. So
yeah, what a decision to have to make. Indeed, we're at Russell's at the moment. He's sitting that bike down and making it sideways. He comes out of there. That really was a superb couple of corners from Kyle Bryce. So Kyle Bryce, well, he was in the circuit last year. Number 9's out as well. That's Patrick McDougall, the 19-year-old plasterer on the Radium UK R6, but still out front. Number 2, Kyle Bryce, 22 years old, on the Real World Design R6 Yamaha. And the fastest lap, no surprises there, 1:13.909, 1:13.0 actually was his pole position time, so he's 9/10 of a second just about outside of his pole time at the moment, Kyle Bryce, but he does look head and shoulders above at the minute, doesn't he, in front of Hillier, Lee, Jenkinson. Adam Jenkinson up to 4th place now. He's past Victor Cox, who was on the front row of the grid as well. So Adam Jenkinson,
very intelligent
once again,
rider. But Kyle Bryce is actually, you mentioned head and shoulders there, and he's not the biggest of the R6 Cup riders, and he's a perfect size for getting tucked in on these R6 Yamahas along that back straight, and that's really important for aerodynamics.
So Bryce, Hillier, Lee, Jenkinson, Cox, Cummins, that's how they went across the line last time round. There is Conor Cummins, you saw him on bike number 3 in the yellow leathers, chasing hard Victor Cox. Oh, this is all a bit hectic in the Russell chicane, that's for sure. 28
Victor Cox having a moment there. Ooh.
It was 28 Victor Cox who got himself in all sorts of a mess, and he has been passed, I should say swamped, as 78 goes through. John Boy Lee, the 17-year-old trainee electrician on the Astro Van Centre SPS Limited sponsored R6. I've mentioned the sponsors because all these young men deserve every bit of help they can possibly get. We're up towards Sear corner now. Oh!
It's Conor Cummins up the inside of Adam Jenkinson there.
Well, the Manxman, he really is very keen to tell everybody where he's from, the Isle of Man. Very important to any Manx resident, any Manx born and bred resident, I should say. Incomers, well, oh, dear me.
Wow, you don't get much more sideways than that and stay on.
You really don't, do you? So Victor Cox in a big mess there. He'll be in for a change of underwear.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, not so lucky. No, I think he gets a 5.9 for style, though.
I'd say Athens Olympics.
Trying to work out exactly who that is. Oh, dear me, 42 is Guy Sanders, a 19-year-old on the right now, .co.uk R6. Let's take another look at it.
End of the back straight.
Yeah, everybody getting tripped. Adam Jenkinson. It was Adam Jenkinson across his nose, and he really, I don't know whether Adam Jenkinson just took his nose a little bit, but out of the race he goes. That was 42 Guy Sanders. Adam Jenkinson goes one further forward though. Jenkinson up to 4th place last time. He's still in 4th place. Cox is in 5th place on 28. Still leading though is Kyle Bryce, and that is a hell of a lead for an R6 Cup race, you've got to say that. Still James Hillier in 2nd place on 37. John Boy Lee still in 3rd place on bike 78. Then it is Adam Jenkinson on 11. Victor Cox on 28. Richard Wren now on bike 24 up to 6th place.
Adam Jenkinson in 4th place there, just clipping the other rider. It's amazing. It's like he walks on water. He just carves his way through the field, but doesn't seem to get into trouble.
He has that kind of class about him, Adam Jenkinson, that really, if he can ride bigger, faster motorcycles, anything like he can ride these standard Yamaha R6s, this kid has got a real future ahead of him. Adam Jenkinson then, just 19 years old, from near Manchester. He's a landscape gardener, and he's riding the Kenmore Construction Yamaha. Bryce, Hillier and Lee are your top 3 still. Conor Cummins has dropped down to 8th place, got caught up a little bit in that Russell chicane melee. While we are looking at 78, that is John Boy Lee indeed. But now 1.7 seconds he was behind the man in front of him a moment ago. I'll see if that changes slightly at all. 1.5, so he's gained a couple of tenths on James Hillier in front of him, but that isn't really going to be enough. All eyes though are on this young man here. He's never seen Snetterton before. At least he got a track day in at Silverstone and at Brands Hatch, and that's important if you can do that. But of course at Snetterton he wasn't even able to get a track day in, so he's never raced on this racetrack at all, never ridden on this racetrack until testing on Saturday. Richard Wren, fastest lap then. Richard Wren making an overtaking manoeuvre around the outside. He goes. Yeah, he might go up to 5th place if Coxey doesn't manage to redo him at the chicane. He doesn't, so Richard Wren goes through into 5th place over 28. Cox, Victor Cox slips back another place.
Jenkinson now closer to John Boy Lee there.
I can hear the whistle going. That's usually when there's been an accident nearby. So as we look at 78, John Boy Lee under the severest of pressure from Adam Jenkinson. Still out front, Kyle Bryce. He'll be getting a board, no doubt, to let him know exactly what's going on. James Hillier, yeah, there was an accident at the...
safety car.
Yeah, safety car going out. That's what the flag with the red cross on it means. And we saw marshals running for cover at... yeah, it's at that chicane again.
Russell chicane.
There's a rider down at Russell chicane. I heard the whistle in my headphones, which usually gives us a bit of a clue. So Kyle Bryce, all that good work that he's done, he's now stuffed, and I'll use that word terminology because basically,
gutted, devastated.
Yeah, he will be absolutely gutted that his lead that he's worked so hard over 7 laps to achieve is now going to be nothing, because basically he'll be coming in. Red flag. Oh, that's a bit serious. So we've got a red flag out on the racetrack. So this will be a double race as far as I'm worked out, because they've not gone 2/3 distance yet. So we're going to have we'll have a restart of the R6 Cup, and it will be an aggregate type situation if my memory of the rule book goes down right. And I won't put you on the spot just yet, Neil. Minute or two, and obviously that was why precautionary measures were taken at Russell's. We are about to get under the restart. Andrew Skinner, of course, will not be taking any further part in this as it goes at the minute. That was a good start there from Kyle Bryce. He absolutely got that bike launched perfectly. So number 2, Kyle Bryce, might not have to fight quite as hard for it, but then again he might have to, because 37 right there with him is James Hillier. Whoa, running out wide.
Jenkinson up to 2nd there.
Yep, straight in there. As soon as Hillier went out wide, Jenkinson, he's a calm, cool, collected character. That's going to be a worry.
Whoa.
Sure.
That shuffled the pack a bit.
No, fortunately not the leaderboard pack. So as they sort themselves out back in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th positions, it is Kyle Bryce off the front from Adam Jenkinson, looking for his hat-trick. Well, he might not have ever ridden here at...
He's just gone
back a place.
So bored and slipstreaming on the R6 Cup, especially at Snetterton.
Yeah, Tommy Hill standing here with us, the reigning R6 Cup champion. Kyle Bryce did it all right from the front there, but with this lot breathing down your neck on the opening lap, it's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, I don't think many people are going to pass him down the back straight. He's so little. You just see there, he's just such a small guy, and I think not many people are going to pass him down the back straight, so that's a good advantage, especially with this track. It's quite hard to pass. Everywhere's rushing in, fast corners.
Power to weight ratio perfect. Neil,
good through the chicane as well. is Kyle Bryce. You could see that he dragged away there, got a bit of time on James Hillier in second place. You could see James Hillier, number 37 there, looking really determined, not wanting Kyle Bryce to break away, but he has done. And they're up the inside there, it's John Boyle. So we'll resume pretty much the positions from the end of the first part of this race.
Yeah, James Hillier in second place on bike 37. It's John Boyd Lee on bike 78. Adam Jenkinson on bike number 11 in fourth place. Victor Cox on bike 28, still fifth. Richard Wren on 24 in sixth place. Ollie Bridewell on bike 46 up to seventh now. And Conor Cummins, our one to watch this week, on bike number 3 is only in eighth place, with James Edmeades in ninth place. That's how the top 9 roll out at the moment. But at the end of the Revit Straight, still 2. Kyle Bryce drops into the S's first. Still got Hillier behind him, and
John Boyle Lee.
Yeah, John Boyle Lee. But I was just looking to see where Adam Jenkinson was. Adam Jenkinson's line just seemed a whole load better than John Boyle Lee, but still doesn't seem to be on his shoulder like you might expect. Coram Curve then.
John Boyle Lee in third position there. He's a lot like Kyle Bryce, quite small, good at getting tucked in. And a bit lighter as well, you can see. Yeah,
that's the other thing. Adam Jenkinson's quite a big lad. I mean, Tommy Hill is a fairly large lad, I have to say, especially compared with Kyle Bryce. I mean that with respect, Tommy.
Big strong boy.
Big strong boy, there you go. So over the line comes a little strong boy, Kyle Bryce. Well, interesting here what Tommy Hill had to say here in the commentary position regarding the choices that Kyle Bryce had. And if he looks like he's going to win this...
you couldn't risk it.
No, that's exactly what Tommy said, although I did get a slight feeling, Neil, that you thought that the PR Branson Honda ride might be a good way to go for him.
Well, I think so. As I said, Tommy and Kieran Clark, they've made a good transition. Cal Crutchlow's jumped to Supersport, and these guys are up for riding whatever championship they're in, and I think there's no reason why Kyle Bryce couldn't do that. But the prize for winning this championship is so great. If you've got any indication that might go your way, then
I'll tell you what, James Hillier was all but touching the rear tyre of Kyle Bryce coming down into the S's there. He looks a bit frustrated to me.
I think he's determined. He knows that Kyle Bryce is going to be good along the straights, and he really has to hang on as best he can. He has to try and get the tiniest bit of slipstream, otherwise Kyle Bryce can make that break.
John Boyle Lee still third, just about shadowing James Hillier, but look at Adam Jenkinson in fourth place on bike number 11, still right there. We're looking at him now.
James Hillier struggles a little bit through the chicane.
Well, it might be that, or it might be the fact that Kyle Bryce is almost sideways coming out of that chicane. I don't know how he gets that bike with minimal power to sit down quite as much as he does. He just turns the throttle on so early, the thing is really sitting down on the way out of Russell's. Tommy, you can tell me how he's managing to keep this lead at the moment. Where's he look good to you particularly?
Well, especially down the back straight, as you watch him, he's so small. He's been at the gym as well. He keeps on telling me, he's built his muscle bulk up and that, and he's getting bigger. But you can see he's just, they're struggling. If they want to pass him down the back straight, they've got to be basically touching his back wheel coming out of the right hander before the back straight.
Just like John Boyle Lee looked like he was having to go then at Hillier.
So he was a 125 rider before John Boyle Lee, so he's pretty small. Pretty even with Kyle Bryce.
But of course, Adam Jenkinson on bike number 11, he is quite a big lad. Despite winning the first 2 races of the year here at Snetterton, that bulk may or may not, looking at James Hillier, make a difference. There is 11. Adam Jenkinson in fourth place at the moment. And what a year he started with. Tommy, have you ever heard of Adam Jenkinson before this year?
No, I haven't. That's what Rob was saying as well. With this championship, you can't put your money on anyone.
Rob McElnay was going to put money on them? No, steady on.
You can't put money on anyone. As I say, Jenkinson's come through, not known, and he's coming up with it, coming up with the wins. Not so good at qualifying, but he's coming up with the wins, and that's all that matters.
Through riches, and this will be a good solid performance even if he finishes here. I'm talking about Jenkinson. Remember, he is top of the R6 Cup tree at this moment in time.
Watch John Boyle Lee this lap going down the back straight here. He's right on the back of James Hillier. He's got a good drive through, so he's on the back straight, and he's trying to get down the wrong side there. And Adam Jenkinson's down the other side.
Big slipstream. Yeah, 2 big boys in front, or 2 black bikes in front, I should say, and Adam Jenkinson taking advantage of that, but being done on the brakes down at the bottom of the S's. And well, John Boyle Lee, he's not scared, is he, on the brakes?
Well, you have to be careful there. We saw it happen to Guy Sanders earlier on.
18, Sean Conway, the 21-year-old student on the conwayracing.co.uk R6 Yamaha, has gone off at Sears. So that's our picture from Sear Corner. Meanwhile, Adam Jenkinson lining up James Hillier all the way up the inside, coming into Russell's. Now that's the kind of place where you want to do it. So through goes Adam Jenkinson.
Do you know what? Adam Jenkinson at Brands Hatch into Druids could pass anyone on any lap. He was so strong on the brakes into these pretty slow stop corners, and that's where he was good at. That's where he did his passing at Brands, a similar sort of corner.
Kyle Bryce is so good. I'll tell you what, these bikes are absolutely equal, but you saw James Hillier there, despite the fact Adam Jenkinson seemed to be carrying the speed out onto that front straight, he slipped back a place again behind Hillier, but into the
Jenkinson on the brakes.
I'm sure there's a yellow flag wave there. Yeah, and he did. He stuck his hand in here. Adam Jenkinson did not see that yellow flag, or wasn't looking for it. He slipped back. Yeah, fair enough. He dropped him back behind Hillier. He passed him under a yellow. It's cost him 2 places, but I'm sure Adam Jenkinson has done the proper sporting thing there, because he was going to cop a penalty for that. Richard Wren on 24. Well, he had a slight... Oh, and Adam Jenkinson just stuffed it straight under Hillier. He has as well at the S's, and Hillier comes straight back. Oh, there goes Jenkinson at the bomb hole. That's a big old place to crash as well.
Points.
Points indeed. 0 points, Tommy Hill.
Exactly.
No, it's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. He was in a great little battle there and was looking very good. That's a wake-up call as far as he's concerned.
But he can drop the races as well, so you've got the 2 races to drop as well. He's had 2 wins so far. That may help him at the end of the championship, dropping a DNF rather than dropping points.
Looked like he touched the back of James Hillier there.
Yeah, I think he did, because Hillier looked round at him when he wouldn't normally have done it. So all a bit of a mess coming out of the S's here. Hillier got back under. Oh, I tell you what, that was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other almost. One was moving over as one was about to drop in. So be interesting to hear what young Adam has to say. But I think Hillier basically had the line, and that was it. Carl Bryce right out with the rough stuff.
Yeah. He's only got 2 laps to go. You can't be making mistakes like that when you've got James Hillier on your tail.
Of course.
Or John Boy Lee.
Of course, this is an aggregate situation as well. We're looking at the monitor here, which gives us Bryce, Hillier, Lee, Wren as your top 4, and I'm sure that's pretty much. Let's take a look at aggregate timings now. It is Bryce from Hillier, from Lee, from Wren, from Cox, from Cummins. So that's your top 6 on aggregate of the 2 parts of this Yamaha R6 Cup race, of course. 7th is Ollie Bridewell. James Edmead is in 8th place. Lowry, Niblett, Michael Niblett getting a result this week as opposed to a sandpit session. Bray and Glynn round out the top 12. But Kyle Bryce, got to say, not a bad ride at the moment. He really has stamped his authority all over this. 4th and 2nd he's been so far in the 2 rounds we've had this year so far. He was in 2nd place in the championship. 25 points here is going to put him 8 points in front of Adam Jenkinson at the end of this session. And Conor Cummins finishing quite a long way back at the moment, who was in 3rd place in the championship. It's Richard Wren and Kyle Bryce who are going to have the most to gain from their rides. Here comes Richard Wren on bike 24 underneath John Boy Lee. Can he pull it down? No, he can't. Got it all spun up at the back end, and John Boy Lee straight back on it, and the big grin from Tommy here in the commentary box.
You can see there's a bump in the middle of the series, and he hit it mid-corner, and that just chucked him wide when he got back on the throttle. Conor Cummins actually is the guy that lost out, because he was 5th going in the first part of this race, and unfortunately lost out in the second part.
So our one to watch is having to watch where his points are coming from at the moment. That's James Hillier we're looking at. He's got a right old battle on his hands. Remember, this is an aggregate from the 2 races that we've had of this R6 Cup today. Into Coram Corner. Coram Curve, as it's known. Squeezing all the power on, out to the outside of the track, then into the braking area, back down to the bottom gear. Left-hander, and then onto the straight as quick as you can. Over the line. Bryce. Then it's John Boy Lee. Then it's 24, Richard Wren. Now James Hillier has slipped right back. That's going to cost him dearly. But on corrected time, Hillier is still in 2nd place. So Hillier is well placed still. He's on 2nd place, despite the fact he's 2nd place overall, despite the fact he looks like he's well off the pace at the front here at the minute. I wonder if his pit board's good enough to keep up to date with this. Final lap time then. Onto the back straight for the last time. The Revit straight. Kyle Bryce. Only one thing is certain here today, barring a mistake over the next 3 or 4 corners, Kyle Bryce is going to take the maximum 25 points. 2nd, well, on the road is John Boy Lee, but he has got to make a bigger gap between him and Hillier if he's going to grab that 2nd place overall.
It's going to be quite close. You see James Hillier scrabbling around there in the back. They're certainly not gaining any time on John Boy Lee.
So on the racetrack, it is Bryce from John Boy Lee, from Richard Wren. That's your top three, but corrected time is what it's all about. Look at this, it's banging right up here at the moment, but it's going to be, barring any kind of mistake, Kyle Bryce. He led the first part of this race before it was stopped, and he's going to cross the line in first place this time round as well. So, Kyle Bryce takes the win. Waiting for it's John Boy Lee who gets second place in the end after corrected time. James Hillier slips to third place. Richard Wren gets fourth place. Conor Cummins gets fifth place. No, he doesn't. Oliver Bridewell moves up into fifth place on corrected time. On our monitors, oh dear me, right at the end of the session, Ben Castleton, the 21-year-old builder, dumps it at Russell's. Not going to be too happy with that. I think it was number 5, wasn't it? Well, yes. Maybe that's a two-part. Uh-oh, bit of a burnout coming here. Yeah.
He's paid for that bike.
So he's going to use it. He's paid for that bike, so he's going to use it.
I don't know if
Well, let's take a look at what happened at the last chicane while we watch the celebrations there for a moment for Kyle Bryce. Here it all comes. Oh, dear me.
Last lap.
Yeah,
it's a Corum into chicane.
He just touched the rear wheel of the bike in front of him and then collected him on the way through. So he touched him on the way in and then belted him when they got there. Oh, look, they're all pushing each other. Dear me, it's handbags at 10 paces, Tommy. Wasn't like that in your day in R6 Cup, was it?
No, not at all.
There it is then, Kyle Bryce on top. John Boy Lee in second place. James Hillier third. Richard Wren gets fourth place points. Ollie Bridewell in fifth. Conor Cummins in sixth place. And James Edmees seventh, with Ian Lowry getting on the just outside of the points, of course. Kyle Bryce then leads by 8 points. At least my maths was correct there, with Adam Jenkinson now second, not scoring in that. That's livened it up at the front. Conor Cummins is on 39, just 3 points now in front of Richard Wren. James Hillier also on 36, a point in front of John Boy Lee, James Edmees and Ollie Bridewell. That's your top 8.